Welcome to Working with Project Lifecycle. This module is the second of 5 in a series for examining the project management framework. The topics covered in this module are completing a project feasibility study, examining the project lifecycle, working through a project lifecycle lifecycles versus product lifecycles, and the project lifecycle in action. During this presentation, make sure to use your Examining the Project Management Framework study guide to highlight and take additional notes. Here is Working with Project Lifecycle. The project's business case, also known as a feasibility study, is part of the portfolio process. Once a need has been identified, a business case is called for to determine if the need can realistically be met. So how does a project get to be a project? In some organizations, it's pure luck. In most organizations, however, projects may begin with a business case. Business cases can be and often are part of the portfolio process of the project. In some instances, a business case may be treated as a standalone project. Let us assume that the business case of a project ABC is part of the project portfolio process. By now, you are more than familiar with the concept of project life cycles. You also know each project is different and that there are some attributes common across all project life cycles. For example, the concept of breaking the project apart into manageable phases to move towards completion is typical across most projects. As we have discussed, at the completion of a project phase, an inspection or audit is usually completed. This inspection confirms the project is in alignment with the requirements and the expectations of the customer. If the results of the audit or briefing are not in alignment, then rework can happen. New expectations may be formulated, or the project may be killed. Project life cycles, comprised of phases, move the project along. Project life cycles allow a project manager to determine several things about the project. Armed with the appropriate information for each project phase, the project manager can plan for cost, schedule, resource availability, risk management, and other project management activities to ensure that the project progresses successfully. While projects differ, there are also other common traits from project to project. For example, cost and resource requirements are lower at the beginning of a project, but grow as the project progresses. Once the project moves into the final closing processes, cost and resource requirements taper off dramatically. Projects fail at the beginning, not at the end. Projects are more likely to fail near their beginning and more likely to succeed near the end of their life cycle. In other words, the odds of completing are low at the launch of and higher at the completion. The further the project is from completing, the higher the risk and uncertainty. Risk and doubt decreases as the project moves closer to fulfilling the project vision. Changes are easier and more likely at the early phases of the project lifecycle than at the completion. Stakeholders can have a greater influence on the outcome of the project deliverables in the early phases. But in the final phases of the project lifecycle, their influences on changes diminish. Thankfully, changes at the beginning of the project generally cost less and have lower risk than changes at the end of the project. There must be some distinction between the project lifecycle and the program lifecycle. We have covered the project lifecycle, the accumulation of phases from start to completion within a project. But what is a program life cycle? A program life cycle is the parent of projects. Consider a company that wants to sell a new type of lemon soft drink. One of the projects the company may undertake to sell their new lemon soft drink is to create television commercials showing how tasty their beverage is. The creation of the television commercials may be considered one project in supporting of the product creation. Many other projects may fall under the creation of the lemon soft drink, research, creation and testing, packaging, and more. Each project, however, needs to support the ultimate program, the tasty lemon soft drink. Thus, the program life cycle oversees the smaller projects within the process. You are the project manager for Acme Works. Your company would like to create a new video camera that allows customers to utilize Bluetooth technology. The video camera must be small, light, and affordable. This project life cycle has several phases from concept to completion. Remember, the project life cycle is unique to each project, so do not assume that the phases within this sample will automatically map to any project you may be undertaking. In the proof of concept phase, you will work with business analysts, electrical engineers, customers, and manufacturing experts to confirm that such a camera is feasible to make. You will examine the projected cost and resources required to make such a camera. If things go well, management may even front you some cash to build a prototype. Management loves the positive information you have discovered in the proof of concept phase. They have set a budget for your first build and have approved the project to continue into development. Now, you will lead your project team through the process of designing and building the video camera according to the specifications from the stakeholders and management. Once the camera is built, your team will test, document, and adjust your camera for usability and feature support. Things are going remarkably well with your video camera project. The project stakeholders love the first build and have made some refinements to the design. Your project team builds a working model, thereby moving into prototyping the video camera's manufacturing, testing its cost effectiveness and ease of mass production. The vision of the project is becoming a reality. The final build, the prototype of the camera, went fairly well. The project team has documented some flaws and adjustments are being made. The project team is also working with the manufacturer to complete the requirements for materials and packaging. The project is nearing completion. The project is complete and is ready for operations. Your project team has successfully designed, built, and moved into production a wonderful, affordable video camera. Each phase of the project allowed the camera to move towards completion. As the project came closer and closer to moving into operations, risk and project fluctuation diminished.